This could be the most boring fight in the world.
I'm hoping it's not.
The problem with Joyce is on a downward spiral at a rate of knots.
But if you box smart and move, which Hergovich can do.
The problem with Joyce is he still thinks he's got a granite chin.
Hergovich can control the fight.
I'm going for a Hergovich KO.
I'm going to go 9 KO.
Hergovich should win this.
I was just going to say. Welcome back to BoxCast. In this episode, we're going to look at the upcoming fight on the 5th of April between Joyce and Filip Hrgovic, taking place in the Co-op Arena in Manchester, UK. Let me start with a tale of the tape. So, Joyce has a record of 16 wins, 3 losses and 0 draws. So he's had a total of 19 fights, 15 wins by KO. He's age 39. He's 6'6" tall, 198 centimeters, and he's got an 80-inch reach, 203 centimeters. The fight's taking place at heavyweight, and he's normally like around about the 280-pound mark in recent fights. And he fights out of an orthodox stance. Filip Hrgovic has a record of 17 wins, 1 loss, 0 draws, so a total of 18 fights. 14 of those wins by KO. He's age 32. He's also 6'6", 198 centimeters, and he's got an 82-inch reach, 208 centimeters. And he normally fights around about 245-ish pounds, somewhere around there. And he fights out of an orthodox stance. So the Juggernaut versus El Animal. What are your thoughts on this? Sort of comeback fight for both fighters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, definitely for Hergovich. I'm not sure if the amount for Joyce, but yeah, I think it's the back in contention.
This could be the most boring fight in the world.
Yeah,
ever.
We're hoping it's not, but it could be.
Or it could be one of them heavyweight classics where they just stand in the middle of the ring and pound each other.
So you think it's going to be like basically a war of attrition and who comes out on top? I think
Hergovich should win
I
this.
was just going to say, yeah.
Should. Joyce. The problem with Joyce is on a downward spiral at a rate of knots.
Yeah.
A real rate of knots.
You can take the losses to Zhang, but like I think the second fight, he was afraid of the thing, wasn't it? It was just inevitable. And then, all right, he's got his win against Kashali, but that was hard work. And then against Chisora, I mean, all right, I think everybody wanted Chisora to win because it's the significance of the fight. But it was basically what he is, like slow and lumbering.
Yeah.
And that's the concern in this. He could be slow and lumbering, and now people have shown that he can be beaten.
Right, the problem is Hergovich can be slow and lumbering as well.
Yeah.
The thing with Joyce was Joyce's reputation was granite chin.
Yeah.
He can just walk through, and and that's how he got his punches off. He hasn't got a granite chin.
Well, Big Bang destroyed that. I mean,
Derek Chisora put him on his backside, wobbled him a few times. He hasn't got a granite chin. He can't rely on that anymore. The problem with Joyce is he still thinks he's got a granite chin. So, and his head, that breeze block that he's got,
it's not a small target.
it does not move.
Yeah, it doesn't
does
move
not move at all. So it is an easy target. And for someone like Hergovich, who...
Because Hergovich, whilst he can look like that, has got fast hands.
Hergovich has been a disappointment.
Well, to be honest, we've said this before, he's one of those where he looks like he's disinterested in a fight.
Yeah.
Which was one is against Zhang, although he managed to scrape that out. And then Even against McKean, it took him to the last round, didn't it, to get the win?
I don't know.
I mean, Mark DeMurray, but I'm not sure that was, wasn't much of a fight. That was
mate, you might as well have put me in the ring, Mark DeMurray. Do you know what I mean?
Probably would have lasted
I think
longer.
the thing was, Hergovic.
The Bois one was the one that was disappointing in there, isn't it?
Hergovic 3 years ago he was a bit like Martin Bacoli.
Yeah.
Nobody
really wanted to fight.
No, you didn't want to fight him. And let's be honest,
unless it's for a belt or something.
He was meant to win the IBF belt. Yeah. He was meant to beat Daniel Dubois and fight Joshua.
Yeah.
That was the plan. Let's make no bones about it. He got ironed out by Dubois. All right, he had success for 3 or 4 rounds, basically punched himself out, and then Dubois just steamrolled him. Is he going to do the same against Joyce? I think the problem with Hergovic is if he realises he can't take someone out, I don't think he's got a plan of, oh crap, what do we do now? Mm-hmm. They're still standing after I've just hit him with my greatest shot.
Zhang as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Zhang came back into it, going, and I don't know if he's got the gas to go all
I mean, and he should have took Zhang out. You know, everyone knows that Zhang can't go past 6 rounds. So yeah, he's one of them, Hergovic. It's like he should
and
be.
He's also got to recover from the loss.
Yeah, he should be a lot better than what he is.
The potential looks like that's why everybody was afraid of him, because he was the
like
main
you say.
Man
You see him in like some rounds and you think, Jesus Christ, this guy's unreal. And then the next round you go, oh my God, you look like...
It's like he's gone to sleep.
You've literally, this is the first time you put on a pair of boxing gloves.
Yeah.
Joyce, you know what you're going to get. He's going to come forward with his big breeze block head, not moving.
Joyce is always the same. Yeah. So it's whether you can hit and move, hit and move, hit and move. And then
it shouldn't be hard again. I mean, Joyce, he does...
It isn't hard.
He's got power.
Yeah.
He has got power.
That's what I mean. You don't want to get hit by him like in a war of attrition. But if you go punch for punch. But if you box smart and move, which Hergovich can do, we've seen him do, whether he does it for the whole rounds. And I think he can take him out as well now. There's been a game plan shown. He's got the power. He's got the... He's more skillful. He's a far better boxer than Joe Joyce. It's whether the losses, how he recovers from the loss and which version of Hergovich turns up, isn't it?
Tough fight, isn't it?
It's still a close fight.
It's a good fight, and
well, it's like this.
It is a good fight, you know.
It's either going to be a classic or
like I say, a bore fest.
And we're hoping it's going to be a classic more than a bore fest.
I think that depends on Hergovich.
I think it depends on Hergovich more.
Whether it's going to be a bore fest or a classic.
Because Joyce is going to be the same.
Yeah,
Joyce the same version.
Joyce is never going to change.
It's walk forward, throw those punches. I think it's what Hergovich can control the fight and make it into his fight.
The only thing is now this, which might come into it, for both fellas, this is their very, 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 very last chance.
Yeah.
A loss,
definitely for Joe Joyce.
A loss here, that is it.
Yeah.
You are out. You might as well retire.
Definitely for Joe Joyce.
And I'd say Hergovich. Because he will automatically go in the who needs him.
Yeah.
He's been poor performance by Zhang, beat by Dubois, beat by Joyce. It's the
you're on a downward spiral.
No one's going to want him
where Joe
fighting.
Joyce is now.
Whereas if Joe Joyce wins,
then he's back in the mix.
He's not. No, I wouldn't say he's back in the mix. He's a long way off the mix, but he might get a fight like against.
Well, I think here we should say he was supposed to fight Dillian White.
Yeah, he might get the Dillian White fight. Although I'm hearing that he could do Dillian White Derek Chisora 3.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone would be scared to go and fight Joe Joyce.
No, not now.
I really, really don't. But he might get a good payday. Maybe like a Fraser,
that's what I mean.
Like a Fraser Clark or a Fabio Wardley.
Yeah. He's
round
back
the
in.
British.
He's back in with the contenders. or those on the fringe of contention.
Tell you, might get a good fight out of him, like a Moses Atalma.
Yeah.
One of the up and coming.
That's what I mean. It's on the ones on the coming up contention.
But
Jared Anderson and what's the guy? I think Teremuana's a bit too fresh yet, raw. But some of those could potentially be a fight for him to keep him, to see if they're in the mix. And
I don't know.
And maybe Dillian White if they're. I think it's in that sort of level of fight. Hrgovic, I think if he depending on the nature of the win as well. If it's a board draw, then I think or boar fest, maybe not. But if he can either KO him out or make it fairly one-sided.
Do you know if Hergovich wins, possible fight for Hergovich would be Zhang again?
Yeah.
Possibly. Again, it's not that I'd want to see that fight, but it could
not unless it's a different.
It
fight
could be. If Zhang wants to continue boxing, he might. I want to fight him.
It's a good contest, isn't it?
Okay.
But I think if Hergovich wins, he's back in the thing. I think if Joyce wins, he's on the edge of the contention list. So, yeah. So go on then. Should we go? Or should we say, what do we think Hergovich has to do to win? Just box.
Yeah.
Box and don't be silly.
Yeah. Stay focused. Don't get bored. Don't get disinterested.
Don't have time off. Because he's definitely got the boxing skill advantage. Yeah. He's got a good chin as well, even though he stopped.
If Joyce catches him, Hergovich is in trouble. Joyce will still carry power.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering whether, because this is Joyce's last ever chance.
Yeah. Does he go all out for?
Yeah, and I think he'll know that.
Because the other thing with Joyce is he doesn't gas. Normally.
No.
And what do we think for Joyce? What does Joyce have to do to win?
Knock him out. Don't think he beats him on points.
No, I don't think he's got the skill to beat him on points. Unless he catches him and injures him and then Hergovich is running and then he can do. But I think he has to KO him, really. So do you think he's going to come out and go hell for leather from the beginning?
Oh, Joyce? I don't think he's got a hell for leather in him.
Setting. Slightly faster than normal.
Maybe like an 1800s, just one of them old style windmills.
Yeah.
With a light breeze on it.
Yeah. He's got to catch Hergovich on an off day, isn't it? Basically, Hergovich doesn't turn up, then I think he's got a chance. If Hergovich is there, I think it's a bit less chance.
I'm struggling to pick a winner. I genuinely keep swapping between the two.
Well, you can see both of them win. The thing is, I think if Hergovich turns up properly, I'm going to assume Hergovich turns up properly, I think Hergovich wins. It's whether can he get him out of there, though. He can, but it's whether if he knows he's winning, does he just tick it along and do it? Because the problem is he has his rounds off, doesn't he? And Joyce can keep going till the end. So
I'm going for a Hergovich KO.
Okay, what round?
7th.
7th KO.
Sorry, Joe, but
I'm going to go 9th KO for Hergovich.
Yeah.
I think Joyce has come to the end. Unfortunately, as bad it is to say, I think Hergovich has still got some in him. If he turns up properly and wants to fight, I think he can. He's got enough skill and go about him. And now that we know he hasn't got the granite chin, Joyce, I think that's So let us know what you think. Do you think Hergovich will win? Do you think Joyce can come back and win here? Which one would you like to? And who do you think they fight next? Isn't it? Leave those in the comments. Like and subscribe, the usual goodness. And we shall see you in the next one. Thank you very much.